Hello everyone, welcome. I am Professor A.B. Janjad, Assistant Professor, Kekewak College of Agricultural Engineering and Technology, Nasik, from the Department of Irrigation and Drainage Engineering. Today, we will see the topic compressibility, capillary rise, and capillary fall. So, first, compressibility. So, what is compressibility? Compressibility is nothing but the reciprocal of the bulk modulus of elasticity, that is K, which is defined as the ratio of compressive stress to volumetric strain. See the figure. Consider a cylinder fitted with a piston as shown in figure. Let phi is equal to volume of gas enclosed in cylinder and P is pressure of gas when the volume is phi. Now let the pressure is increased to P plus dP. The initial pressure is P and now it is increased to P plus dP. Then the volume of gas, which is now phi, will decreases to phi minus dV. It is when the pressure is increased to P plus dP. That is, change in pressure will leads to the change in volume. Therefore, then increase in pressure is equal to dP and its unit is kg up per meter square, and decrease in volume is dV. Therefore, the volumetric strain is equal to minus dV upon phi. The negative sign indicates that the volume decreases and it is decreases with increase in the pressure. Similarly, if pressure decreases, the volume will increase, and this is called as the compressibility. Therefore, bulk modulus, that is K, is equal to increase of pressure upon volumetric strain, which is equal to dP upon minus dV upon V, which becomes minus dP upon dV into phi. It is bulk modulus, and as we see, the compressibility is reciprocal of bulk modulus. Therefore, compressibility is equal to 1 upon K, or the reciprocal of bulk modulus. Then the surface tension and capillarity. So what is the surface tension? Surface tension is defined as the tensile force acting on the surface of liquid in contact with gas, or on the surface between two immiscible liquids, such that the contact surface behaves like a member under tension. Immiscible liquid means the liquids which do not mix with each other. The magnitude of this force per unit length of free surface will have the same value as the surface energy per unit area, and it is denoted by the letter sigma. In MKS units, it is expressed as kgf per meter, while in SI units, it is expressed as Newton per meter. The phenomenon of surface tension is explained by in the figure. Let's see the figure. Consider three molecules A, B, C of a same liquid in mass of liquid. These are shown in the figure. Molecule A, molecule B, molecule C. The molecule A is completely immersed in liquid. The molecule A is attracted in all directions equally by the surrounding molecules of the liquid. Thus, the resultant force acting on the molecule A is 0, because it is attracted in all directions equally, as it is completely immersed in the liquid. But the molecule B, see in the figure, which is situated near the free surface, is acted upon by upward and downward forces which are unbalanced. The upward and downward forces will be obviously unbalanced. Thus, net resultant force on molecule B is acting in downward direction. and the molecule C, which is situated on the free surface of liquid, it experiences a resultant downward force. All the molecules on the free surface experience a downward forces. Thus, the free surface of liquid acts like a very thin film under tension of surface of liquid act as though it is an elastic membrane under the tension. So this is the phenomenon of surface tension. Surface tension on liquid droplet. Now we will see this phenomenon of surface tension on the liquid droplet. Consider a small spherical droplet of a liquid of radius r, which is shown in figure. On the entire surface of droplet, the tensile force due to surface tension will be acting, and the droplet which is shown in figure, consider it's the surface, and the entire surface of this droplet will experience the tensile force, and which will be due to the surface tension. Now let sigma is surface tension of the liquid. Small p is pressure intensity inside the droplet, and small d is diameter of droplet. Now the droplet is cut into two halves. The forces acting on one half will be, now these forces will be tensile force due to surface tension acting around the circumference of the cut portion, and this tensile force due to surface tension will be equal to sigma into circumference, which is equal to sigma into pi d. As we know, the formula for circumference is pi d for the circular shape. Then second pressure force on the area. There are two forces acting on the droplet. First one is tensile force and second one is pressure force on the area pi by 4 d square, which is equal to p into pi by 4 d square as shown in figure. These two forces will be equal and opposite under equilibrium conditions. That is, p into pi by 4 d square is equal to sigma into pi d. That is, tensile force is equal to pressure force. Therefore, p is equal to sigma into pi d upon pi by 4 d square, which is equal to 4 sigma upon d. And this equation shows that with the decrease of diameter of droplet, the pressure intensity inside the droplet increases. And similarly, with increase of diameter, then the pressure intensity inside the droplet will decrease. Then the surface tension on a hollow bubble. A hollow bubble, like a soap bubble in air, has two surfaces in contact with air, one inside and other outside. Thus, two surfaces are subjected to surface tension. In such case, we have the pressure force will equal to tensile force. Therefore, p into pi by 4 d square will be equal to 2 into sigma into pi d. As here there are two surfaces, therefore we multiply the circumference by 2. Therefore, p is equal to 2 sigma pi d upon pi by 4 d square, which is equal to 8 sigma upon d. This is surface tension on hollow bubble. Now, surface tension on a liquid jet. Consider a liquid jet of diameter d and length L as shown in figure. Let P is pressure intensity inside the liquid jet above the outside pressure, and sigma is surface tension of the liquid. Consider the equilibrium of semi-jet. We have the force due to pressure, which will be equal to P into area of semi-jet, and area of semi-jet is length into its diameter, that is P into L into D. Therefore, force due to the surface tension will be equal to sigma into twice the length, that is sigma into 2L. Therefore, equating these two forces, we can find the pressure force, which will be equal to P into L into D is equal to sigma into 2L. That is, we can find the pressure force P equal to sigma into 2L upon L into D. Thank you. To get more videos related to irrigation and drainage engineering and also related to agricultural engineering, subscribe my channel Agroneers. Thank you.